Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Raptor Research Foundation's 2022 Banquet Awards presentation at our meeting in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am Jennifer Colson, and I chair a couple of the awards committees and also serve on some others. Tonight, we're going to start off with the Hammerstrom Award. Fran and Frederick Hammerstrom are icons in the field of raptor ecology. And through their long-term ecological studies, the scientific community gained an appreciation for predators and a greater understanding of raptor natural history and ecology. Between them, during their lifetime of research, they authored and co-authored over 240 scientific papers and reviews. They also had a revolving door of field assistants, affectionately known as the Gaboons, and they mentored countless budding raptor biologists. And here we see Fran with her eagle and Hammy peering out of a blind to look at some chickens. The Fran and Frederick Hammerstrom Award recognizes an individual who's contributed significantly to the understanding of raptor ecology and natural history. And it is my great pleasure to announce the 2022 Hammerstrom Award, and it goes to Dr. Patricia L. Kennedy. Dr. Kennedy's record of scientific achievement related to raptor ecology and natural history is exemplary. With students and collaborators as co-authors, Dr. Kennedy has produced well over 100 contributions to the ecological literature. And these include more than 70 peer-reviewed papers, a substantial portion of which deal with raptor ecology. In addition to contributed publications in peer-reviewed journals, she has authored many invited papers and symposia proceedings in journals and in book chapters, all having a strong focus on raptor ecology. Dr. Kennedy is highly regarded for her work on northern goshawks in the U.S. Southwest, the Great Lakes region, the Pacific Northwest, and the isolated population in the Black Hills. And that work has informed goshawk conservation broadly in North America. In addition, Dr. Kennedy has been part of the team that wrote management recommendations for the northern goshawk in the southwestern United States. And that is a highly influential document that incorporates the ecology of northern goshawks into conservation in the Southwest at the behest of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. She has also worked with grassland raptor communities in northwestern North America and Arctic raptors in Alaska. Some of her contributions include evaluating methods to detect and study raptors and provide insight into the ecology and natural history of a suite of raptor species, all basing raptor conservation on science. Especially relevant to the Hammerstrom Award, Dr. Kennedy has been an exemplary role model and mentor for graduate students, postdocs, early career professionals, and especially for early career female scientists. Dr. Kennedy, in her roles as advisor to graduate students and postdocs, and in her teaching to undergraduate and graduate students at multiple academic institutions, has really continued in the wake of Fran Hammerstrom in advancing diversity and inclusivity in the raptor research community. And here you can see her when she was giving the symposium, the scientific panel on women in raptor research. In her academic capacity at multiple institutions, she has advanced the science around raptor ecology and natural history while being an influential mentor and role model. And that will be an enduring legacy. Congratulations, Dr. Kennedy.
Thanks, Rob, and thanks to Jennifer for such a wonderful introduction on and all the accolades. I'm really honored to be the 2022 recipient of the RRF Hammerstrom Award, and I'm sorry I can't accept the award in person. Len and I are holed up at home in Oregon getting over COVID, but I'd much rather be in Florida with you, as you can imagine. So I'd like to reflect a little bit, if you'll bear with me. When I heard about this award, I spent some time thinking about my long association with RRF and how the society inspired my career. in 1970, as a college freshman, I joined the society, and I've continued my membership for 50 years. In fact, I'm a life member. I have, so then in 1973, I was working as an undergraduate intern for Dr. Jim Anderson, who was a biology professor at the time at Colorado College and where I was going to school. And he was one of a small team that included Jerry Craig and Tom Cade, some names that may be familiar to some of you in the audience. These guys successfully bred peregrine falcons in captivity for the first time, and I got to help with that as an intern. It was very exciting, but I didn't really realize the context of what they were doing until Dr. Anderson presented his discoveries at the 73 RRF meeting in Fort Collins. And lucky for me, he took a few CC biology majors along for the ride. I was 20 years old, attending my first scientific meeting, and absolutely awestruck by the science and the quality of the presentations of the people at the meeting. The importance of Dr. Anderson's work at CC suddenly was given context, where careful and methodical use of the scientific method could help save species from extinction. I was just amazed, and my career, I think, was born at that meeting. I love the annual meetings, and I tried to make as many as I could. I want two specific memories that came to mind while I was thinking about this. One was the La Paz meeting, which was in the 1990s. I can't remember the exact date, where David Anderson and me and a few other unnamed souls played hooky one day, didn't go to any meetings, any presentations, and we went deep sea fishing. We caught enough fish to provide a fish fry to the attendees, all of the attendees. So all was forgiven that we didn't go to the meeting. And then the second meeting was the South Africa meeting in 2018 at Kruger National Park, which was by far one of the best conference venues I've ever been at in my entire career. I loved walking between my bungalow and the meeting center and watching warthogs run across the lawn. I mean, it was just a delight. And then there was that scintillating scientific program focused on the disastrous vulture declines, which was kind of a deja vu back to the peregrine declines in the 70s. And we clearly, you sit there in perspective and think that we will never, as raptor biologists, will never run out of anything to do. Unfortunately, it's too bad. And then there's the journal. The journal was an important, very important venue for me for testing my eclectic ideas about raptor ecology. We had quite a tizzy about goshawk populations in the 1990s, and my goshawk papers from that time and JRR are my most heavily cited papers. And I'm grateful to all the editors I work with and who have continued to just produce a marvelous ornithological journal. It's a great piece of scientific journalism. And then in addition to all this cutting edge science, RRF was also very important to me socially. The meetings were always a mix of many fascinating and friendly people who shared a similar passion and encouraged me to pursue a career in raptor biology. I should add that I loved the banquets. They were always lots of fun. And these early interactions at RRF meetings are what gave me the confidence to look beyond my undergraduate degree and apply to graduate school. The rest is history. I've been blessed with a wonderful career and would not be in this position of accepting the 2022 Hammerstone Award without RRF's guidance and support. I want to thank the awards committee, and in particular to David Anderson and Joan Morrison for steering my application through this process. Finally, big thanks to my husband, Len Power, who has supported me throughout these crazy years, although he does love the meeting field trips. Thanks a lot.
Next, we have the Tom Cade Award, which recognizes an individual who has made significant advances in the conservation of raptors, including advances in captive propagation and reintroduction, those techniques, and identifying conservation biology problems and solutions, and implementing population restoration programs. Here we see Dr. Cade with one of his beloved peregrine falcons. And of course, he was a giant when it came to propagation and the techniques that he developed in breeding raptors in captivity. And this year's Tom Cate Award goes to Dr. Jose Hernan Sarasola. Dr. Sarasola is a leader in the field of raptor conservation biology. In 2021, he co-founded the Center for the Study and Conservation of Birds of Prey in Argentina, known as SICARA, a pioneer and conservation center for neotropical raptors. He served as its vice director from 2006 to 2012, and then as his director since 2012. SICARA has received local and international awards for its exemplary conservation work. Dr. Sarasola is well known for his research focused on the ecology and conservation of Swainson's hawks in Argentina. His research on this long-distance migrant, affected by mass mortalities during the middle 1990s, represented one of the most comprehensive studies on this species on its non-breeding grounds. Another of Dr. Sarasola's major conservation contributions includes his work on the Chaco eagle, one of the largest and most endangered eagles in the neotropics. Little was known about the species when Dr. Sarasola started his project 20 years ago. Thanks to long-term research, the biology of the species is now well known in many aspects, including social behavior, demography, movement ecology, and population genetics. And most relevant to the Cate Award, he identified electrocution as a main threat to the Chaco eagle and mitigated the problem through more focused research, public outreach, education, and stakeholder involvement. His research was one of the first to systematically examine raptor electrocutions in southern South America. He has also conducted field work on other raptors in South America and Europe, emphasizing raptor population ecology, migration, and conservation. Many of these studies focused on species of conservation concern, including American kestrels, Aplomado falcons, and Andean condors. He also co-edited a book on raptor biology and conservation and has published over 100 peer-reviewed papers, monographs, book reviews, and book chapters. He has also supervised more than 25 students on raptor ecology and conservation work in South America. So I would like to wholeheartedly congratulate Dr. Jose Hernan Sarasola for his conservation work. And now, through the magic of Zoom, Dr. Jose Hernan Sarasola will give us a few words from Argentina.
Hello, hola, hello everyone.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Sorry for the, I wanted to talk, but the Zoom was not working here. Jennifer, and I don't know who is there in the presentation, but thank you for the introduction for the award. I would like to. It's a great honor for me to receive this award. Nothing less than the Tom Cate Award. I didn't meet Tom personally, but his life dedicated to raptors is an inspiration for everyone working on raptor conservation. I would like to dedicate this award to so many mentors, colleagues, students that share with me his time and knowledge during all these years. I think that is also some kind of tribute or recognition to people working on conservation of birds of prey in Latin America. So nothing more to say. A big hug for everyone there. I was not able to be there for this meeting, but hope to see you soon in the next meeting. And thank you to the Committee Award and the Raptor Research Foundation.
The next two awards are relatively new. This was the Peregrine Fund suggestion that we have recognized someone who has dedicated their lives to raptor research and conservation, recognizing these people for their significant contributions to the study and conservation of the birds of prey, as well as their outstanding achievements gained through innovative fieldwork, impactful collaborative partnerships, keyword, and a lifetime of inclusive interactions with their peers and the public focus on raptors. So we gave the first award last year to Bob Berry, and this year we're delighted to give this award to Simon Thompson. So I'm going to read from an email from Joni Overbach. What Joni writes, that what makes Simon Thompson special is that he really loves raptors, has spent so much time with so many species, and looks at them completely different from any other raptor expert we know. The way he speaks about a long middle toe or a laterally flattened tarsus, not the stuff you would find in books, but eye openers even to people who have had a lifelong interest in raptors. Simon has had a monumental influence in shaping the lives and careers of hundreds of individuals, Munir confesses to being one of them, who have been mentored and inspired by him and gone on to make significant global contributions in the field of raptors and wildlife conservation. Darcy Ogata, Suzanne Schultz, Shane McPherson, Lily Arison, DeRonald, and Sandosh Gurung, just to name a few. Simon was one of the first to capture the elusive Cassin's eagle and Ethiopian golden eagle. His experience was critical for some of the Peregrine Fund's projects in places like the Cape Verde Islands, trying to save their red kites, and particularly in Ethiopia, where he scaled 1,000-foot cliffs and dangled on steep precipices in search of bearded vulture chicks for a reintroduction program in Kenya. And his beloved Rosian girl were the first crowned eagles in the world to breed in captivity and to have their young go on to breed in the wild. To ensure that his life's work will be continued, Simon co-founded the Kenya Birds of Prey Trust, an organization devoted to the conservation of birds of prey in Kenya. It is our hope that this recognition will cement his faith in the conservation world and further ignite his propensity to spread his wings and continue to change the future for nature and humanity. Thank you to Simon. And Simon is going to chime in here through the magic of a recorded video.
Understand in a few hours I'm going to be given an award, and it's getting late and my Wi-Fi is down, and I just need to thank all of you in the Raptor Research Foundation and the Peregrine Fund for giving me this award. It's been an incredible life working with birds of prey, and I'm extremely fortunate to be doing what I love, and to be given an award for doing what I like doing is extraordinary. Very few people get to have that honor, and there are so many people there who I suspect I know have put my name forward, and I'd like to talk to you later. And I genuinely am delighted to be recognized. She doesn't seem to care. Come on, wake up. It is a little late, so we're all going to have to go to bed soon. Again, I just repeat, I'm extremely, extremely grateful. You cannot understand how happy I really am, and I look forward to working with birds of prey forever and ever, and creating a succession for others younger than myself to have to take on the responsibilities of looking after something like her. Yes, thank you all, and good night or good morning, whatever time it may be in your part of the world.
So these awards are a partnership. The first partnership was the Peregrine Fund asked us to join them in honoring Bob Berry last year, and then the Peregrine Fund partnered up with us again on the award for Simon, and sort of the word got around that this was a thing. So the Western Foundation for Vertebrate Zoology got in touch with us and nominated John Schmidt to be this third recipient of this prestigious award. So John Schmidt has been a research associate and resident artist with the Western Foundation since the late 1970s. At the Western Foundation, John has been a friend, educator, artist, and researcher on many Western Foundation projects around the world, where he contributed breathtaking artwork and detailed field notes of on his observations. In the US, John has served as a field capacity with the California Condor Recovery Program. He has cooperated with the Santa Cruz Predatory Bird Research Group during their early work on peregrine falcons. He intensively and extensively utilized the study skin collection of the Western Foundation Museum in the numerous bird plates that he's illustrated for raptor species of the world and many other species. These illustrations have greatly enhanced our ability to identify rare, declining, and new species to science, and have motivated and inspired countless field biologists, including the present nominators for this award. John Schmidt has been a frequent contributor to the Raptor Research Foundation's Journal of Raptor Research as a co-author, naturalist, and artist. I think he has done 5 or 6 JRR covers, including this one. He's also contributed illustrations that were included in publications, such as this orange-breasted falcon chasing some kind of parrot in front of the pyramids at Tikal. He reflects the Raptor Research Foundation's spirit and letter of this Lifetime Achievement Award through not only his scientific contributions, which are many, but also through his outreach to the general public to educate about avian biology, ecology, and conservation. As a contributor to protect and cooperated with people, peers, colleagues, and the public outside the Western Foundation, John displays incredible kindness and compassion, gentle humor, as well as self-effacing knowledge as a naturalist and artist, always engendering a thoughtful approach to his teaching and the sharing of his profound avian knowledge and his observations. So these are some of the field guides that he's helped illustrate, including 2 by Bill Clark, the Field Guide to Raptors of Europe, the Middle East, and North Africa, another book along with Bill Clark, Raptors of Mexico and Central America.
John will be joining us now via Zoom. Take it away, John.
I am deeply, touched by this award. It was a total and complete surprise, and I had never before received this kind of acknowledgement on this kind of a scale. And I wish to thank the Raptor Research Foundation and everybody who was responsible for deeming me, worthy of this award. And I'd also like to thank, Jeep Pagel for his support. I'd also like to thank the Western Foundation. I've had a long, long relationship with the Western Foundation. I've had a lot of opportunities that came my way by way of the Western Foundation. And then I'd also like to thank William S. Clark. We collaborated on 2 projects, and I learned a great deal from Bill. And it would be hard to understate, the value that I attach to that collaboration. And with that, I just want to say thanks. It was a real surprise and deeply felt. I really was thankful for this award.
So that's it for the Lifetime Achievement Awards. And thanks to the chair of the Cade and Hammerstrom committees, Jennifer Coles. We have the Raptor Research Foundation has an award that we've only given out once before, and we gave it to Dan Barland after his 100 years as chair of the conference committee. So we actually had to invent an award for Dan because his work was so special that we invented this, what do we call it? The Exceptional Service Award. And the bonus on this one is a lifetime membership at Raptor Research. So we have a new individual who we've decided certainly deserved to be the second recipient of the Raptor Research Foundation Exceptional Service Award, and that's our own secretary forever until this year, Joan Morris. And I've looked through the records to find out how long Joan was secretary. She was 2008 to sort of 2013. I couldn't quite figure out when she stopped being. And then in 2016, she shows up again as temporary secretary or something like that. And that temporary or interim secretary, whatever it was, she stayed on the job faithfully, slugging away at keeping minutes of 8-hour board meetings. Just an amazing job. She's helped us get all of our archives onto Google Drive where they're safely reserved and recorded. She's done a great job.
I just want to thank Pat Kennedy, who got me into Raptor Research Foundation in the first place.
One of the awards that we give out fairly regularly is the President's Award. Last year, as I was getting ready to take over as president, I went underground behind the back of one of the officers of the board of the organization to rally the board to approve this grant. And this is something, well, this particular form of it is new. Libby Mojica has been amazing. And I am happy to give her this year with the board, once again, underground, because Libby is party to the Raptor Research listserv email. So we had to sneak around behind her back to get this all approved. Libby's 4 years as president were pretty transitional for the organization. She got into the nuts and bolts of this organization. We have a manual for everything now. She did the work that down in the trenches, behind the scenes, that no one had done before, but needed to be done. She did an amazing job. So now wherever you go in the archives, there's a manual for this. There's an operational manual for that. She really has brought the Raptor Research Foundation to new heights. And I am delighted to present this award, which I can barely lift. So here you are.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. It's been an honor to serve our society, and I've enjoyed meeting so many people in the years that I've been active in RRF and serving on the board, and all the different ways has been really rewarding for me, both personally and professionally. And I really encourage others who are interested in getting more involved to do it, because it's really been a lot of fun. So thank you so much, Rob. It's been an honor.